Lots of rain the last few days, which is great for the grass that I'm growing. It seems to be problematic for the drivers here in Tampa, uh, which is just symbolic of life, I guess, in general. God tells us to slow down, and a whole lot of people say no. So off we go. And we are in Hebrews chapter 12. Again, the writer's talking about how important it is for the family of God to function like a real functional family, not a dysfunctional family. And he's gonna give us one of the great keys to being a functional family. There's an attitude. If everybody in the family has this attitude that we're going to talk about today, the family can be a high functional family. The reality is, of course, we know that not everyone has the same attitude, but this is a great attitude for a church and for any family, really, and really even, I would say, any organization. If they could use this as kind of their mantra, I think it would be helpful, especially in our society today. So this is chapter 12. I'm going to read verse 14 and 15. They go together, and some verses that follow go along with it, but these two are kind of like the underpinning of the future thought. So here he says, make every effort to live in peace with everyone and to be holy. Without holiness, no one will see the Lord. See to it that no one falls short of the grace of God, and that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble and defile many. So there is my responsibility to my own soul, which is to seek holiness in my life. I'm to have this target ahead of me, this transformation target of where I'm headed, and to constantly be stepping forth into that journey that's ahead. So that's my responsibility. But within the family, I have a responsibility to you and to others, and you have a responsibility to me. We have a responsibility to each other. God's desire is for the family to be highly functional and serve as a witness to the rest of the world of how people can behave with each other. And when we behave the way that this writer talks, it does become a genuine witness. When we misbehave, it's a different kind of witness. And that is really one of the issues that we face in society and even within the church right now. When we are divisive with one another, when there is a bitter root that has grown up between Christians, it ruins our witness, and we become a dysfunctional family. And that's a sad thing. So here's what I love about this idea. I have a responsibility to me to seek holiness. And my holiness, and this is going to sound odd at first, my holiness involves you. That I cannot become what I need to become without you. And you can't do it without the family of God. The family of God need one another. And there are a couple of reasons for that. One, I'm not really excellent at being a witness to my own soul. I need some help. And I need people to help me to understand when I am being conflicting all the time, when I am a little on edge. And the writer says that as far as it's up to me, my responsibility with me is to seek peace. As far as it's up to me, I'm to go after reconciliation within the family. I'm to seek it, not to wait for it to come to me, If I have feelings hurt or a disagreement or something, I'm to seek peace. I'm to go after that. And what so many of us tend to do is when we have been disgruntled about something, we hold it to ourselves, or we try to make sides, and we find other people who are maybe disgruntled about the same kind of thing, and so we have a little team together. That's what he means when he says a bitter root. It's going to grow into divisiveness, and in the church family, that can be major divisiveness. And so it's as much as it's up to me, as I'm able, I'm to seek peace with other people. So if I'm aware that someone has hurt me, I go to them. If I'm aware that they feel they have hurt me, if I ever become aware of that, I try to go to them and find out how we can help each other. And that's how functional families work. They talk through controversies and divisiveness before it becomes a bitter root. Dysfunctional families don't do that. What they do is they pretend like nothing's wrong. So to your face, oh, I'm fine. It's all good. When it's not good. And if it's not good, you need to help each other. And so dysfunctional families, at first they'll say, I'm good. But then they'll stew on it and they'll say, you know what? I'm not good. So, and they may not even consciously do this. They'll begin to just chat with their friends about it. And what they're really doing is they're scanning the room to see who's with them on this, so that they can team up together and be miserable together about whatever it is that they're disgruntled about. And if they can get 2 or 3 people and talk about it, then they can keep their disgruntled spirit alive. There's no, if they're in isolation, it withers a little bit. But when you give it fuel, you give it energy, then it comes alive. And the more alive it comes, the more that bitter root sprouts and soon becomes a tree of unrighteousness in the life of the family of God. And so the writer says, as much as it's up to me, I'm going to seek harmony and peace. I'm going to do what I can to bring peace to my family, whether that's with my brothers and sisters, my mother and father, or my church family, or the family here in the neighborhood. I'm going to seek peace. If I know there's division, I'm going to go talk to people about it. I'm not going to call the homeowners association or I'm not going to do that kind of stuff. That's just not how I function. And I don't think we should as Christians. I think as much as it's up to us, we seek peace. Will we always find it? No, because not everybody's doing that. Not everybody wants that. And in the end, there may be something I strongly believe in that they strongly believe differently about. And if we're both seeking peace, we can still be functional as a family. Even though we disagree about something important, we can still function as a family because we know we disagree and we love each other. And on we go. But if we're not a functional family, then that difference becomes divisive, and it ends up that within the life of the church, somebody has to leave. And it always seems to go that way. It's very disappointing when God's people can't figure this out and really function like a really great family. If we all agreed with each other, some of us wouldn't be necessary. So it's necessary for iron to sharpen iron, and to function in a highway toward peace. And then he says this thing about my responsibility now to you. That's my responsibility to me. I'm to seek peace. And then he says, see to it that no one else falls short of this. Wow. No one falls short of the grace, this functional family grace. See to it that no one, it's my responsibility to see to it that you don't fall short of this. And so when someone becomes disgruntled, it may or may not be with me. It may be just someone in the crowd that they're scanning to see if I'll be on their side. When I sense that, and that happens, I have a responsibility to them and to my church family to protect them and to protect my church family by trying to help them seek peace. When we just put our arms around someone who is not seeking peace, then they assume that we condone what they're doing. And that's not really very helpful to them, unless of course we do, which is not helpful to us. So as much as it's up to me, as much as I can, first I'm gonna seek peace with other people. If I've injured or hurt or have a disagreement with someone, I'm going to have a conversation, and we're going to try to talk it through and learn to live and love each other. If I sense that you are having trouble with this, then I'm going to say something to you that's really not healthy for your soul. And some of you who are watching right now, you know, I've said it to you, and you've said it to me, so that's okay, because it's true. It's not healthy for our souls to do that. So if we're going to be a mature church, or we're going to be a mature, functional family, me, my wife, my kids, we got to learn to talk these things through. We can't not talk about it because we know we're constantly in disagreement about it. No, we need to talk about it. And most of the time I've learned that when we talk about it, we're not as disagreeable as we thought we were. We're not as far apart as we thought we were. And it's kind of amazing how Satan gets a foothold like that to create divisiveness. So make every effort to live in peace with everyone and be holy. Without holiness, no one will see the Lord. See to it that no one falls short of the grace of God. No bitter root grows up to cause trouble and defile many. I pray for this church family. I pray for, if you're in a different church, I pray right now for your church family. I pray for your biological families. I see so much dysfunction, and it's all because of this. It's all because people want to be right, or 25 years ago XYZ happened, or whatever it is, and I can't get over it. And you know, yeah, you can get over it. Yeah, yes, you can, and we should. Doesn't mean we always agree with each other, but we sure do love each other, and we learn to function like a godly family. And that's the word for today. Learn as much as you can, as best as you are able. Make peace with the family of God.